What's the deal, baby? You already know it is the big boss hog, boss dog. Can't pop through the door here to talk this boxing. What's good with you? Before I get in my soliloquy, remember tough times are last. Good people do. Don't off yourself. Call that mental health hotline. Remember you matter. I'm back to back with this. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all I was gonna be back to back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to go live, Mo. You know what I mean? I got a lot going on. Your boy in school. I work 2 jobs. So, you know, I'm a husband. I'm a dad. You know how the game go. I'm gonna wait for a couple of more people to get in here. We're gonna talk about Canelo and whatever else y'all want to talk about. Today is a free day. We're gonna talk about Canelo and whatever else y'all want to talk about. So we're gonna let a couple more people get in here. We're gonna let a couple more people get in here, man. And then we're gonna get it popping. We're gonna get it cracking. We're gonna get it all that. Dang. Coach supposed to be joining me, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna wait for a couple more people to get in here, man, and we're gonna do our thing. We'll give it a couple more minutes. Once we get to the 5 minute mark, man, ain't nobody jump in. You know me. I'm just gonna go. It's all gas, no brakes. We're gonna get to it. We just waiting for a couple more people to get in here, man, and we're gonna get to it. That boy Ryan Garcia brother missed weight. I think they got a weight problem. All of them got a little weight problem, huh? Say about 1 more minute, and we just gonna get to it. What's good with you, Rasta Shinobi? What's up with you? Shout out to you, man. And shout out to Trinidad, brother. And Master Shun say some straight BS if it comes true, although I think Canelo wants to fight once in the UK to show his appreciation for Eddie Hearn. That's what we was gonna talk about. I agree with you. I got a video coming about that. Um, I have an issue with this Canelo Alvarez, him not fighting Dave Benavidez. Like I said before, I think Canelo is a great fighter, but you obviously see him declining. You know what I'm saying? And his numbers is declining. So, I saw it on boxing24.com and I'm seeing Chris Eubank Jr. and I'm like, what has he done to get a belt? I mean, a title shot. Like, what is he doing? You get what I mean? And that's what I don't understand. Is Canelo Alvarez told David Benavidez or said this about David Benavidez that what has he done? Who has he fought? You get what I mean? But it's like, who it was Chris Eubank Jr. fought to get him this opportunity. You get what I mean? And I understand that, he trying to honor Eddie Hearn, but man, look, it's about giving the fans what they want, bro. And that's just real talk. So I got Chris Eubank box rec up right here. Hold on, man. My bad, y'all. I got his box rec up right here on my phone. And his last win was against Liam Smith. He got a TKO victory against Liam Smith. But he beat Liam Williams, Wanik Adjinkang, Marcus Morrison, Korobov. He beat him by TKO. That's opponent Jamal Charlo fought. James DeGale, he won by unanimous decision. That was in 2019. So he fought twice in 2021, once in 2022, 2 times in 2023. He fought Ildrum in 2017. Like, these are names that are really not jumping off the page. You see what I'm saying? For Canelo sweepstakes. Like, you get what I mean? And I don't understand that. Now, let's go to David Benavidez box rec, right? David Benavidez. And I'm doing this to make a point. Because this stuff getting ridiculous right here. There go Coach right here. What's good, Coach?
What it is, my boy?
So we're talking about Canelo Alvarez. He's rumored to fight Chris Eubank Jr. So we finna talk about that. So I'm cooking right now. So I'm gonna let you go in a minute. So we just talked about Chris Eubank Jr.'s box rec, his record, right? His opponents. Now let's look at David Benavidez. He just fought Alexander Vostik, right? Demetrius Andrade, Caleb Plant, David Lemieux, right? Those names right there is warranted of him to get a Canelo Alvarez fight. I don't understand why Canelo Alvarez is trying to beat around the bush and say, what has David Benavidez done? What has Chris Eubank Jr. done to get this fight? What did I'm not Yildirim. What's the dude name that Canelo fought? See, now I got it. Huh?
Munguia?
Nah, not Munguia. He fought a dude that's his sparring partner for a long time and was on a 2-year layoff and was coming off of a knockout loss. And Canelo gave him an opportunity.
I ain't gonna cap on drawing a blank too.
I'll try to pull up his box real quick. There you go. Saul. It was Avenue Yildirim. So it was Yildirim. I'm right. So it was Yildirim.
There we go.
So he gave him an opportunity.
I'm gonna switch my hand piece real quick.
All right. He gave him an opportunity, but he fought Billy Joe Saunders, which was a respectable fight. He fought Caleb Plant, which is for undisputed. You know what I mean? But after that, he fought Dimitri Bivol, which at first, I'm not going to lie to you, I was like, why is he fighting Dimitri Bivol? But then Dimitri Bivol shut me up. So, you know what I'm saying? Then he refought Triple G, which I didn't understand that matchup. Fought John Ryder, brought Jamel Charlo from 154 up, and then he fought Jaime McGill. Jaime McGill, I can respect that, but you're fighting a Chris Eubank Jr. who has literally, I won't say I haven't done nothing, but hasn't done anything to get this opportunity, right? And you're sitting here with these belts, holding up a division, instead of you just fighting David Benavidez and giving him a shot. You know what I mean? He's earned his shot. He's done everything he needed to do. He's played by boxing's rules. He's played by these sanctioning by these rules. Give him opportunity. I don't understand why you're even looking at anybody else. Even I'm hearing he might be fight Edgar Berlanga. Like Edgar Berlanga is a power puncher, but he got low boxing IQ. Canelo Alvarez might stop him. That he might start another streak of stopping if he fight Chris Eubank and then back door and fight at the top of the year Edgar Berlanga. Or vice versa. These two dudes right here are two dudes who have low boxing IQ. Eubank Jr. has been knocked out before one time, but Eubank Jr. is he don't have any tools in his belt, in my opinion, that's gonna offer Canelo Alvarez at me as a fan the opportunity to be in an entertaining fight. If that makes sense. So I think looking at this situation, Canelo Alvarez is gonna have to make some shape because his numbers is dropping and they are declining, right? And I think he see that. That's probably why he's trying to go fight Eubank Jr. He might try to go fight him in the UK. Why? Because the UK fighters or UK fans are gonna come out with their guy. That's one thing the UK fans are, they loyal. But like I said before, I don't like this matchup. He need to fight David Benavidez. Now, Monster Shun said, I honestly have Canelo stopping David by body shot in round 9 or 10. I don't know why he's playing games. I don't know if he stopped David Benavidez. I can see ways he can beat David Benavidez, but I don't think he stops David Benavidez. And I would favor David Benavidez currently going into that fight. But it's gonna be if that opportunity came, it would be a good competitive fight. But coach, if you back on, let me know something. What you think about Canelo Alvarez not fighting David Benavidez and
I my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. And what else? My bad.
and basically looking at fighting somebody else?
I'll be brief with the Eubank. Don't like it. Not necessary. Eubank hasn't done anything to be rewarded. A chance to make a bag. He hasn't been rewarded a chance to fight for any type of belt. He hasn't been rewarded. He shouldn't be rewarded for anything. You know what I'm saying? Because again, he's not even relevant right now, in my opinion. He's not relevant in any category, any statistic, any type of money, anything. He's not relevant. So why Canelo is choosing to fight Eubank, I believe he's just trying to pass stats right here, pass stats, pad his record. You know what I'm saying? He knows he's on a decline, like you mentioned. He's just trying to get his numbers up to where they're up to par. We already know he's going into the Hall of Fame. So why he's choosing this fight, I don't know. I don't like it. Don't want to see it. But again, I am gonna watch it just because what I'm saying, it's boxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of boxing, so I try to watch every fight that I could possibly catch. So I'm gonna watch it. But when it comes to him and David Benavidez, I watched this last fight with Benavidez very closely to see how he would look, at a heavier weight. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like David Benavidez should be a little bit higher than where he's been fighting, and I believe this matchup against how you pronounce his name again? His last fight, how you pronounce that man's name again? I don't want to butcher it.
Oh, you talking about McGill?
No, no, no. Benavidez last fight. How you pronounce his
Oh,
opponent last
Vlastik. Vostik.
fight? Right, right, right. Okay. At first I thought David Benavidez could, kind of do away, with Canelo with the simple works that he's been doing. The hand speed, and the power, the come forward attitude, and whatnot. But in his last fight, I see him, a little flawed. I didn't like his jab. He didn't have enough pop behind it. It wasn't sharp. And overall, if you go look at the fight, Benavidez's power wasn't really affecting Vlasic. He was landing some nice punches, some nice combinations. He was doing what he normally does. You can see where he's kind of been working on his defense. But other than that, I didn't like the way Benavidez looked at that weight. So with that being said, if you're not looking too good at that weight when you have to fight a Canelo, whether you're going up or down, you know you're not going up, you got to come down. But at the same time, it's like, ah, Canelo's still Canelo. At the same time, he still got the head movement. He still got the IQ. He still got the footwork. He might not have as much pop on his punches anymore. But at the same time, I might be kind of in agreement with my boy down here, Monster. I think a body shot, if Canelo can get enough in, I think a body shot might do it. Maybe not knock him out, but it might slow him down enough where Canelo can, ride off into the sunset with a split decision, in that fight. But at the same time, he should be fighting Benavidez. Benavidez resume says it all. He's done it in a high fashion. He's done it consistently. He's been patient long enough, and now he's at the point where he's letting the words fly, and I think he's deserving of it. I think the fans are deserving of it. You know what I'm saying? So, I think I think he should go ahead and do it because there's really nothing left for Canelo to prove to anybody, money wise, IQ wise, technique wise, resume wise. There's nothing left for him to really prove. It's only been Benavidez and a couple other people that I know it probably won't happen. And I see the name popped up right at the bottom with Bud. I don't think we're gonna get that Bud fight. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Yeah, that Bud fight. If they
It's a reach.
if Bud was to get that fight, I would root for Bud. But like I said before, they're weight class for a reason. And I see ways Bud can win that fight, but like I say, man, when you get up there, when you get up there in them weights, them punches is different. Charlo found out real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because
Uh-huh.
Charlo was throwing punches that normally knock dudes out or hurt them at 54. And Canelo was eating them. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Bud, I know people say, oh, Bud, not Charlo, but if I had to compare the two, Charlo is probably the more explosive puncher out of both of them. I would say Bud is the more uh, complete fighter, but I would say Charlo is the more explosive puncher, and he couldn't hurt Canelo. Triple G couldn't hurt Canelo. B-Ball couldn't hurt Canelo. You know what I mean? Um, so I think Dave Benavidez can hurt Canelo, but I don't see him knocking him out. You know what I'm saying? But I see ways Canelo can hurt Benavidez too. But like I said before, I think Canelo know that David Benavidez fight is a dangerous fight, and he know that he gonna have to go to another. Uh, he gonna have to go to another level mentally to fight David Benavidez, and I just think he not willing to go there right now mentally. You know what I'm saying? To prepare for a dude like David Benavidez. Because David Benavidez at 175, from what we saw, is a different fighter than what he was at 168. You know what I mean? Like you pointed out, it seemed like with Benavidez, he was doing good work. He was fast, but it seemed like his power wasn't really affecting Vlasic like that. He was scoring, but and you saw in the later rounds, because normally Benavidez, when he put them punches on them dudes at 68 like that, you see them fold, you see them melt, you see them get stopped.
Right.
Whereas at 175, Vlasic still was right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, he got caught with some punches early, but as the fight went on, you saw Benavidez start to decline, and you saw Vlasic start to put it on them more. So I just want Canelo to basically, if he gonna continue to go down the path he going down, just drop the belts so you can do what you want. It's a lot of
Right.
great fighters at 68. You got David Morrell, like Monster Shun pointed out. You got, Caleb Plant still trying to fight. You got Jamal Charlo that might move up now, 68. He don't have a build at 60. So now he's in a position where he might have to move up. You know what I mean? Because those are all the big fights at. Charlo really can reinvent himself if he go to 168 and just start fighting these dudes. You know what I'm saying? But of course, it all depends on his mental and his dedication to the sport of boxing. But I think that Canelo Alvarez he either need to, drop them belts or move around. That's how I look at it.
100%.
That boy George said, I think it's a punk move for real. Give the young bull a shot to be called the best. You have to beat the best. Exactly. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like I said with Canelo Alvarez, you want to continue to, if you got to update your resume, bro. You can't live on yesteryear. I can't live on that. Hey man, back in 2000 and 2008, when I played football, I ran a 4.3. I can't rely on that. I can't say, hey man, nah. I ran a 4.3 back in 2008. And I know that's a different thing. I know it's football and it's different from boxing. But I'm just saying you cannot rely on other stuff that happened in the past. You in boxing, you got to update your resume. You get what I mean? Tank can't live off of the Ryan Garcia win. He got to keep ascending. He got to keep fighting these guys. You know what I'm saying? That's why he finna possibly fight Loma. That's why after that he probably gonna fight Shakur and Devin Haney and Teofimo. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to update your resume in the sport of boxing. As long as you're an active fighter, like Crucial Content said, it's plenty for him to prove. It's a lot of people feel like that. It's a lot of people that feel like, and these are the Canelo cult followers that, he's already accomplished what he's accomplished in the sport of boxing. He don't need to prove nothing else. No, as long as you say you're an active fighter, as long as you're an active champion, you got to prove yourself. That's just how I feel about it.
Oh shit.
Crucial Content said Benavidez don't want that Morel smoke. I don't know, bro. I think it seemed that way to me too, but I don't know. I think that I think David just like David trying to little boy David Morel. Benavidez trying to little boy him. You know what I mean? He like, bro, you got like 11 fights of but I don't know. Morel might be able to, because Morel looking at David like, well, if I can't get this Canelo fight, then I'll fight David Benavidez and beat him, and maybe Canelo fight David Morel.
Might be going after him at a good time too, because we all know what happened when you start fluctuating that weight. It get hard to start balancing what you really good at, especially if you're a power puncher. That power starts to diminish. You fluctuating that weight up and down. You're a speed puncher. It might not transition as well your first fight back at a different weight class than it did when you was in the original weight class. You know what I'm saying? So we all know what happens when you start fluctuating and playing with that weight. Eventually, you got to stay somewhere. So he gonna run into him eventually.
I would say, I don't want David to keep trying to chase after Canelo, but that's what Charlo did. You know what I mean? Jamal Charlo tried to chase after Canelo, and his career went how it went. You know what I'm saying? Now he's not a champion no more. So if I'm Benavidez, I'll fight David Morel. That's just me. If I'm David Benavidez, I say, look, I can't get this Canelo fight. David, let's fight. David, excuse me. Let's fight at 168. Let's get to it. You know what I mean? Let's do this. Let's show Canelo that we true fighters, and that's what I would do. But I know David looking at David Morel like, man. Now I know one thing: David Benavidez better move back down, because I think Dimitri Bivol and Arthur Beterbiev will destroy him.
He better leave the people alone. He better leave the people alone,
bro. What I seen, I was like, yeah.
Nah, you better leave the people alone, bro.
That boy.
I'm gonna be honest. You better leave him alone.
I mean, let's talk about it, cause I mean, the Dimitri Bivol versus David Benavidez. We'll start with that first. Who? I mean, you basically said Arthur Beterbiev will beat him, but how you see that fight going? You see it being competitive, or it's gonna be like a steamroll type thing?
Who we talking about? Benavidez and Beterbiev first?
Exactly. We're gonna talk about that first,
bruh. I'm gonna be honest. I think the first, maybe I ain't even gonna say the first. Maybe we might see something good. Maybe rounds 1 through 3. And after that, I got Beterbiev just going to town on him, bro. Pause, no freaking. The way he looked against Blasius, bro, he better go back down. I'm telling you right now, he better go back down. And I'm gonna keep it just that simple. He better go back down and leave them other boys alone, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him really like box, like use lateral movement in them later rounds. I'm like, I don't normally see him do that. He normally comes forward, trying to lean on you and put punches together and break you down.
And that means what? He started thinking about it. We already know once you start thinking about it, and in the boxing community, you start thinking in that ring, you could be in trouble. As soon as you go from thinking, as soon as you go from reacting to thinking, you're in trouble.
Man, that man, I see that matchup. I see a stoppage. I think Arthur better build. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Arthur better build for steamroll David Benavidez, bro. From what I seen, from his last fight, maybe he'll improve. I don't know, but what I seen, that man better. All right, all right. You know what I mean? Like the Mexican monster gonna turn to the Mexican Chihuahua. I'm telling you, that boy, man. I'm telling you, man. That boy out there better be if it's a problem. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, he is, dog.
that boy
Yeah,
Terminator, if he die, he dies type stuff. Like he don't care about nothing. He coming. I mean, of course, he ain't reckless. His head off line when he shoot his jab, he throw his two, but you gotta be able to keep that man off of you. And I don't see it, man. He gotta move back down. But B-Ball versus Benavidez. How you see
look,
that? Coach a real big. I won't say a big fan, but he respect B-Ball. So how you
hey,
feel about that?
when it comes to like, if I was a fan of a boxer, bro, if I was a 100% diehard fan of a boxer, it would be Dimitri Bivol, bro, because he's sound. He's literally soundproof. I tell all my fighters, and I tell any fighter I come across, the main way to stay relevant, stay sharp, stay healthy, and go long, pause no freaky, is to be sound in every single fundamental aspect of boxing. And Dimitri Bivol is that. You want to see boxing? You want to see somebody who doesn't break code no matter what and looks clean, fights clean, is sharp, intelligent, IQ, footwork, head movement? Dimitri Bivol is the absolute answer to all of that. He won't break code. He don't care who you are. He don't care if you Canelo. He don't care if you David Benavidez. He don't care if you. I mean, granted, he ain't been in there with better. I keep messing up this man name. Better be yet. But at the same time, that's gonna be a classic fight. But at the same time, he won't break code, bro. And I think in that fight, Benavidez is gonna have to get into a boxing altercation, and he's gonna have to give up on that. Yeah, 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 yeah. And and we already know once he give that up, who is he? Who is David Benavidez after that? That's all we know him for. Like I say, his jab wasn't that sharp his last match, and I'm gonna go off of the last match. His jab wasn't sharp. He had to resort to some kind of half shell, half Philly shell, and I was like, dude, I mean, I see what you're working on, but if you resorting to that, that means what? Power ain't transfer, speed ain't transfer. You could be, your stamina could be low, your conditioning could be off. You know what I'm saying? So against B-ball, if you show any signs of weakness, he's going to exploit it. Period. And then it's already bad enough he don't break code and he stayed technical the entire time. So I got Dimitri Bivol really honestly. I ain't gonna say knock him out because he's not a knockout artist, but I got him washing him at least 10 rounds out of the 12.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe all 12. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah,
Like,
possibly.
bro, I don't like Benavidez at 175. Like, like somebody said earlier, he food, bro. Monster Shun
Yeah.
said he food. You know what I mean? Like I mean, he can beat a couple guys, but when you start getting to B-ball, them two B's, them B-balls, and better B, yeah, you better leave them alone and go back down to
Facts.
168, player. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But let's ask that same question for Canelo Alvarez. Because Canelo is the acting king, right? I won't give him the full crown because he not fighting top fights. Me, in order to give you the crown, you got to be able to be fighting killers. And he ain't doing that right now. So how we already seen Canelo versus B-Ball, but let's start with that. You think Canelo can win a rematch with Bivol? Like, how do you see that fight going?
Not at all. Not at all. The blueprint is 100%. It's authenticated. It's out. If they still had newspapers being thrown in the front yard, guess what? That'll be on everybody's newspaper when Canelo get in there with B-ball. He gonna utilize the jab. He gonna fight at a distance. And when Canelo coming there with that trying to get off them nice little clean body shots he like to go for, B-ball gonna step back, change the angle, and he gonna shoot the jab. Come over the top with a hook or two, and that's that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you go back and watch that fight again, watch it. Dimitri did not break code at all. Again, the second time around, I got it. I got it being worse. I got it being worse. All 12 rounds of Bebo. It's just something about Canelo and somebody who know how to box. He don't know what to do with it. He get frustrated. He start turning red. You know what I'm saying? You can see where he catching all them jabs across the face. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to puff up. He's starting to get frustrated. He trying to tell him, come on. He's trying to amp his opponent up. And it just don't work. It's not going to work against Dimitri. I got Dimitri winning the second time. I got Dimitri all the way.
And y'all, the reason why we talking about this is because Canelo obviously ain't going to fight, David Benavidez. So we trying to basically paint a way where Benavidez can basically rise to the top without fighting Canelo. Because Canelo obviously ain't going to fight him, right? And when it comes down to Canelo Alvarez, he so-called claim he's the face of boxing. So how can he stay the face of boxing, right? So that's basically what we doing. We trying to find matchups to keep them at the top. Now, when it comes down to Bivol versus Canelo Alvarez Part 2, I think it's a more competitive fight. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Bivol will win, unanimously. I think Canelo will put on a better performance than he did the first time. I think he underestimated Bivol and his boxing ability and his skills. I think he see the skill set that Bivol has, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be enough. I see Bivol outclassing Canelo Alvarez. Now, better Biv, I'm not going to lie to you, and y'all going to be mad at me. He going to stop Canelo Alvarez. That Russian Cold War, that dude right there is different, bro. You know what I'm saying? I saw a fight. I think it was against Marcus Brown. The boy head was split like some butt cheeks. Pause, no diddy. It was split like some butt cheeks. He had blood coming down here, and he still was putting it on Marcus Brown. Pause, no diddy. No, like what Coach say, pause, no freaky. You still putting it on, boy. You know what I'm saying? And that's let me show something. I said, oh man, no. Canelo better, man. He better be alone. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Now Dave said I like to see Bud. Hey, man,
Bud
look,
versus who?
Benavidez.
Oh, come on now, man.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Dave. If Terence Crawford get it down with David Benavidez, that's gonna be the last fight that Terence Crawford fight.
What are we talking about here?
Win or lose. Win or lose. Win or lose. That's the last fight Terence Crawford will ever fight. Because he ain't coming out of there unscathed. That boy Dave Benavidez is gonna walk him down. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a massacre, man. I don't want to see Bud go through that. But I know some Bud buddies gonna get mad. If he want that Canelo fight, that will be the fighter that I will fight, in my opinion. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. Hey, Bud, get in there with Dave Benavidez. You beat him, you get Canelo. Straight up.
In real life, it is what it is. You got to do something. You want it that bad, you got to do something.
Yeah, I mean, fight Ben. I would like to see it. I'm not gonna lie. Some people gonna get mad at me, but I will watch it. I already know what's gonna happen, but I will watch it. I know Dave will pay for it. Dave want to see Terence Crawford get mollywopped. You know what I'm saying? So, speaking of which, let's segue out. You got these people hyping up this Madrimov fight, right? And you got people saying Madrimov is They say top dollar. Uh, you got people hyping up this Madrimov fight. They saying Madrimov is big. He looking strong and he's looking. Do you think Madrimov, coach, and anybody in the chat, y'all can respond, can beat Terence Crawford?
Nah, nah. I don't see it. I mean, no pause, no freaky. The dude. If you go and watch him and look at him, he looked like he in 100% total in shape. You know what I'm saying? He looks solid right now. But he didn't already utter the words out of his mouth that he not Earl Spence. Madrimov told Terence Crawford he not Earl Spence. So we already know where Bud gets his view from. Words and altercation. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't already uttered some crazy words. So I'm looking for Bud to come out instantly and turn into that dog. And we already know Bud is tough to deal with when he turn into that dog, when he turn into that animal. And he don't have just, what I'm saying, dog with him. He got that 100% killer instinct that you need to have when you hungry and you want to go for something, and you feel like somebody owe you something, and you trying to get that, you need that, not you want it, you need that.
Mm.
That's that Bud that's tough to deal with. Now, if you would have kept your mouth closed, you know what I'm saying, not trying to initiate something, then you might have had a slim chance. But at the same time, as soon as he would have hit Bud with something, powerful and clean, Bud would have just been like, "Oh man, did you just really hit me? All right, now I'm finna go to work." But my dream off, nah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, I don't know exactly. I don't want to predict, and I don't know exactly how this fight gonna go because I haven't witnessed too much of Madrimov. But at the same time, I know who Bud is. I know what Bud gunning for. You know what I'm saying? He gunning for a payday, and he looking to make his resume shine. He don't want no more blemishes. He don't want no more. Well, you struggled in that fight, or you should have done this with this person in that fight. And he ain't trying to hear none of that the rest of the way out. So he finna go in there and be looking to get rid of this dude. So honestly, just who Bud is as a person and what he's predicated off of, and how he's you know built to fight in the ring. I don't think Madrimov got a chance. It can be good the first few rounds, but other than that, after round maybe 2, 3, 4, I got Bud taking off.
I think Bud stopped him at 5. I'm not gonna lie to you. This fight
Okay.
right there shouldn't be the main event on this card, and I said that. When I said that, oh man, you hating on Terrence. How am I hating on Terrence? Israel Madrimov got like 10, 11 fights. Yeah, he got power and all that, but that don't mean nothing. You can hit as hard
Mm-mm.
as you want to. You can punch hard, but that don't mean you're gonna be still standing up, because you can punch hard and you can hit the floor hard too. That's just what you know what I'm saying? And that's what I see. I just think Bud gonna do kind of like how he did Postal. He gonna look to set traps, use lateral movement, and run that boy into something. That's just what it is. I think Bud gonna feel his power and realize. I think early Bud gonna try to step to him to see what he working with. That's what
Mm-hmm.
he did with Errol. He was trying to see what Errol was working with. Was he? Because you saw his interview when he was like, Errol hit me, and I was like, oh, that's it. So that's why Bud was more a little bit in the pocket, but he was boxing using angles and countering Errol. But I think he gonna try to see what Madrimov got, and if he feel like Madrimov is too powerful, then he gonna look to run Madrimov into something, and that's why I see him stopping that boy in rounds 5 or 6. I just think Madrimov, experience wise, don't have enough in his arsenal. I don't feel like he's fought a fighter like Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And experience matters. I get it if Madrimov was fighting top guys and he was whooping them or steamrolling them, and they was calling him the Ukrainian or whatever. But no, because about to get sent back to Ukraine in a box. That's just what it
Mm-hmm.
is. He finna go have to go rejoin that war over there because his boxing career finna be over with. Bud finna body wop buddy. That's just what I see. I could be wrong. I very well could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I just think, truthfully, all jokes aside, I think that Madrimov is a fighter that don't have enough. to be able to compete with a Terrence Crawford. You know, I think that, on that card that, Terrence Crawford and Madrimov shouldn't be the main event. I feel like it should have been either Victor Ortiz and Tim Tszyu, which we now know that Tim Tszyu can't fight because he has been cleared medically. So Victor Ortiz has to fight somebody else. Or Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus El Rayo. I think that should have been the main event, and you could have just made.
That definitely should have been the main event right there, brother.
You got two power punchers, two Hispanic dudes, one Mexican American, you know what I mean, and one and one Mexican. They finna go at it. You know what I mean? Like, that's finna be a very entertaining fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the reasons why I'm gonna buy this card for that particular fight. I ain't really too much care for Terrence Crawford's been dream of. I had to go back and watch. I'm not gonna hold you. Y'all know me. I keep it 1,000. I had to go back and watch tape on my dream of to be able to be like, okay, can he beat Terrence Crawford? And the answer is hell no. No.
100, 100, 100.
Dave say, hopefully we wrong and my dream of winning. I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? Hopefully. You know what I'm saying? But I know you, Wade. I know Dave. I'll tell you, Coach. Dave can't stand Terrence Crawford. Dave do not like Terrence Crawford. And I got another partner that work with me. He can't stand Terrence Crawford either. So Dave and my other partner would be both be on here like, look, man, that boy Terrence Crawford trash. So, Dave and Dave keep it 1,000. He like, look, I can't stand no Terrence Crawford, bro.
Right.
Shell said he won't be alone. Take us in alone back to Ukraine in a coma. Hey, I agree. I agree. I think Tank would definitely give Lomachenko his prescription of sleep medicine and melatonin. You know what I'm talking about? But I think that to get back to the Terrence Crawford thing, after he fights Madrimov, what's next? So, Coach, I made a video the other day saying Terrence Crawford should retire. He getting up there in age. Right now he's still in his prime, but Father Time, tends to jump on your back when they want to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For example, the other day I was watching TV and I was wide awake and just boom, fell asleep. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to, that means that the elderly or whatever you want to call it is slithering on in. You know what I'm talking about? So
Right.
my thing is this. I'm gonna get Dave. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to your question in a minute, Dave. You think Terrence Crawford should retire, or do you feel like Terrence should keep pushing on, trying to get this Canelo fight, or just try to push to become undisputed at 54?
I ain't gonna lie. Me and who I am, I see who Crawford is as a person, as a human being, as a competitor. I ain't gonna lie. I would do the same thing. I would keep pushing. I mean, I still believe he deserves another payday. I ain't gonna lie about that. But at the same time, it's like you don't want to keep searching and searching and searching, and then land in the ring with the wrong opponent, and then you go out on the L. So it's a toss up. It depends on what he can get after this. Who's available? Who's willing? Who wants to? Who's gonna be the payday? So it's a lot. There's a lot of factors at hand when it comes to Crawford. And again, the biggest factor pertaining to him is his age, like you mentioned. We already know sometimes Father Time he'll ride with you for a little bit. Then after a while, it's like, all right, brother, I gotta go put my clock on somebody else. So I'm gonna just put the weight on your shoulders. You want to keep going, you keep going. You want to break down, that's on you. But I'm gonna go help somebody else out. So it's a lot of factors that's beneficial, and it's a lot of factors that's like, bruh, go ahead and in that career the way you should. Go out on a couple of W's, hang it up. You did good. You made your name. You made a name for yourself. You eventually gonna get into the Hall of Fame. But at the same time, I know who he is as a competitor. Again, like I said, he's still looking for the big payday, and I think he's gonna ride that wave until just can't go no more, and I can't be mad at him because I'd be the same. I'm the same way. I'm gonna keep going to the wheels fall off. You feel me? But like I say, it's all about timing, who's available, who's gonna get them the bag, and what's at stake.
Yeah, I think I got a two-part answer for that. I think if it's me, I would keep going. But me being a fan of the sport and me knowing about father time and stuff like that, if I'm Bud, I'll ride out on top with my O. That's just me. After I win this fight, just ride out on top. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that he won his Super Bowl fight, right? In Errol Spence. Although many of us got different viewpoints on it, but hey, he won. You know what I'm saying? And he won it decisively. So at the end of the day, he won his Super Bowl fight. He beat a fighter that was arguably the face of 47 that was running through everybody at 47. He made it look easy. So now you go to 54, you get this belt. We all feel like, I'm gonna say 95% of us feel like he gonna beat Madrimov pretty easily, right? So, and after that, what's next for him? You gotta wait to see, what Tim Tszyu doing. I mean, maybe you give Tim Tszyu opportunity, to fight for your belt, or hey, do you know, we don't know about Jermell Charlo. We don't know if he's staying at 54 going up to 60. You know what I'm saying? That could be a fight, because there's beef and animosity there. You know what I'm saying? I know Crawford said he wouldn't fight Charlo, but I'm telling you right now, he needs to stay away from that man. He needs to stay away from Jermell Charlo. In my opinion, I feel like Crawford is the more complete fighter. Jermell Charlo got that equalizer, that Denzel Washington, right? Got that equalizer 3. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. He got that stuff that turned them BDBs to a perm. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, is that's what he got. And if he land that on a button, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? That's what I feel. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying if Charlo land on a button on Terrence Crawford, it's a wrap. But it may be an arrow fight at 54. You know what I'm saying? I would pay for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the boxing masters would pay for that. I know Dave would pay for that. To see Errol Spence fight Terrence Crawford at 54. A lot of people feel like
I'm gonna watch it too because I invested in the first one and I was wrong on the first one. So I don't think Spence will win the second one, but I damn sure know for a fact he'll do better in the second
one. Yeah. So I think, and me and Coach talked about this. I feel like they setting it up for that because, and y'all hear me out. After the first fight, a lot of people did not want to see that fight again. They feel like we saw what we needed to see, right? So, and they probably checked the temperature of the market and was like, a lot of people don't want to see this fight again. So, what is a way we can build this fight back up? Yeah, go fight Sebastian Fundora, right? And if you beat him decisively, let's say you stop him violently and get a belt, okay, now this sets up maybe a unification or hell, another undisputed match at 54. You know what I mean? And then that builds Errol back up, right? Because Terrence already, is who he is. I thought Errol Spence is still the bigger draw, but that builds Errol Spence back up because a lot of people are saying, hey, I got to see what Errol look like. You get what I mean? So that builds him back up as a fighter, and that gets people back interested in that fight. That's what I think, right? So I could be very well wrong. They may never fight. Errol may stop from doing and be like, Deuce, I'm gone. I'm going to be on my ranch in Dallas. Which, if I'm Errol Spence, I'm not going to lie, that's what I would do because I feel like people don't really appreciate Errol Spence, the fighter, and what he's brought to boxing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of looking over, what this man has contributed to the sport of boxing and him trying to, him bringing us the fights as fans that we really wanted to see. This fight happened between him and Bud because of Errol. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because of Crawford. It wasn't because of PBC. It's because of Errol. Errol made this fight happen. Dave say, even though I'm a Bud hater, Bud ain't active enough. Even in his prime, he gets once a year, maybe. He fight once a year, my bad, maybe. So I don't see a lot of years left for him too inactive. I agree. And you seeing a lot of fighters, you seeing that catch up with him. Like, I think that was also part of Errol Spence's problem. He was inactive, right? Uh, Now that I look back, one thing I I won't say congratulate, but give Bud credit for it. He fought David Evanesian first, right? Although
Mm-hmm.
it was a jacked up move, you know what I'm saying? But he went ahead and got a fight in first, and I feel like Errol Spence should have did the same thing, you know. But Errol Spence, he believed in himself, and he like, man, shit, man, I don't need no tune-ups. But you know, you saw what happened to him. His timing was off. And one thing about this boxing game, you got to be tuned up. You know what I mean? You got to be tuned up like a Corvette. You know what I'm saying? You got to be tuned up, ready to go, ready to explode, ready to take off. Pause, no diddy. So, Coach, what you think about that?
You talking about Bud being inactive?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I can break that down simple. Uh, his next fight, we already know, is Madrimov. He's not a very active fighter. So basically, his scenario is hurry up and wait. What I mean by that is he can get in there with Madrimov, knock him out round five, and be done for the next year and a half, which he likes to do anyway. And then, but after that, it's kind of like, oh, I gotta wait on the Fundora and Spence. Or I gotta wait to see what Zoo gonna do when he come back. Oh, let's see what Ortiz gonna do. I mean, all these names have to be moved around and plugged into situations before Bud can actually make a decision on what he's gonna do. Because other than that, like I said once before, it's fights out there. You still got boots, but it ain't a payday. You know what I'm saying? If you want to chase that Canelo train, then go chase it. But at the same time, I don't think that's a train he should be chasing. I don't think that's something he should be even trying to be intriguing himself in that situation, just like you mentioned, because there's weight class for a reason. You know what I'm saying? There's weight class for a reason. I think he gonna go up there, wrong timing, not active. He gonna get in there with Canelo, and it's just gonna be a bad night for him. I ain't gonna say Canelo just gonna be on his A game. It's just gonna be a bad night for him. You've been too inactive. You ain't getting no tune-ups in before that. Then you moved up in weight and you ain't acclimated to it, and it's just gonna be a bad night for you. So the situation for Bud is I can hurry up and win this fight against Madrimov, but then I gotta wait to see how all the pieces move and where I can go after that. Because then you, like I say, you can beat Madrimov right away, get it over with, go chill on the beach, do what you got to do, being active. But then you got, like I said, you still got to wait on Spence and Fundora. You got to wait on these other cats to do what they gonna do. Maybe like you say, Charlo, maybe, but I don't think he want to deal with Charlo. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's a hurry up and wait game for Bud, and him being inactive. We already know when you call yourself a boxer, everything has to be on point. It's not something you can pick up for 2 weeks and then put down for a month, and then you come back and it's like, oh, my timing there, my speed there, my power there, my footwork there. It's not something you can do. Boxing is a sport that you have to participate in every single day, especially as a professional. The road work. When I say road work, I'm talking about getting your miles in, getting your sprints in. Then you got to do the speed and strengthening training. Then you got to do the strengthening and conditioning training. Then you got to do the speed and conditioning training. Then you got to do the necessary work to make sure you're not overworking your body. So you got to make sure you're getting the right massaging in, the right stretching in, the right the right everything, the right soaking in. You got to make sure you get everything in when it comes to boxing. And we all know when you choose to take time off, some of those things are going to slip through the cracks. Some of those things are going to slip through the cracks. Now, for Bud, he's had a solid career and been fortunate enough. None of those things have vacated him in the time of need. You know what I'm saying? He's been one of those guys who's been able to kind of steer against the father time code. But at the same time, it's gonna happen eventually, and you keep taking that time off. Danger gonna rear his ugly head, and it might not even be against the most formidable opponent. It may be against somebody who you think was a tune-up fight. That can happen just because you've been inactive. And boom, it's like, damn, bud, you should have retired when you finished my dream off. Now we're looking at you like, Man, we told you. We was wondering when Bud was gonna kick in. Now his age showing, and now he don't look as good as people thought. So it's a hurry up and wait game for Bud.
They say you've been watching boxing since the 80s. Back then they got active. Today you lucky if the same boxer fights twice a year. That's facts. I think a lot of these fighters nowadays, man, some of them look at themselves bigger than what they actually are. Shakur Stevenson. But all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, um, you got to get active, man, and that's ways for you to tune up your skills and really be sharp in there. You know what I'm saying? And I think there wouldn't be so many undefeated fighters either if these guys fought more. You know what I mean? Because you fight more. There are certain styles that may pose an issue. Now, like I said, there are certain guys that are special fighters, and like they say, they gonna do whatever they got to do to win a fight. You know what I mean? But I think that there will be a lot more guys with losses on their records. And I think boxing will be bigger than what it is if guys just fought each other. These young bulls, they just don't. They don't. They worrying about money, and all this other stuff. It's like, that's cool, yeah, but in order for you to get to the bag that you want, you gotta fight. And if you fighting fights that your contemporaries are not fighting, then that's gonna get you the bag. That's gonna get you the following. That's gonna get you, ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? Because so now these other dudes gotta play catch up. You know what I mean? And they gonna, oh, okay, that's working. Well, I'm gonna start trying to do that. You know what I mean? But they gotta continue to, push for these big fights. These fighting these once a year. I say, like, if I was a pro fighter, I would look to fight like maybe. And I know when you get to that elite level, you need more time to prepare for fights. Minimum 2 times, but I will fight 3 times a year. I will fight like January, February, then look to fight in like May or June or July, and then maybe try to fight at the end of the year. That's what I would try to do. And if I want to like a recovery year, I'll just fight twice. But I would look to fight 3 times a year. And they would be big fights. You know what I mean? That's the only way you're gonna grow as a fighter. That's the only way you're gonna get better in the moment. That's the only way your mental, right? Because a lot of people don't understand. As a fighter, it's a lot of mental gymnastics you gotta go through, bro. So like on fight night. Right, I tell you, like my first amateur fight, I'm driving to the location where I'm for the fighter. I'm nervous. I'm thinking, what if this dude knock me out? What if this dude sleep me? You get in there, you know, people playing around, joking. Me, I ain't playing around, joking. I'm in the back. I'm standing at coach. Coach, like, you ready? I'm getting up. I'm getting ready. I'm getting stretched. I'm getting loose. You go to hitting the hand pass, you still thinking like, okay, what if this dude catch me with a shot? I need to be on my P's and Q's. So you overthinking stuff. Then it's time to fight. You walk to the ring. It's people in the stands. They cheering you on, but it's the moment. It's being in that moment. You like, what the hell? And I'm not gonna lie to you. I couldn't feel my legs. Walk in the ring and you look around and you like, dang, I'm really finna fight in front of 100 or 200 people. You know what I mean? And then for me, that nervousness didn't go away until I got punched. Once I got punched, it was like, it's game time. You know what I mean? So, but like I say, it's a lot that goes into this stuff, man. And I think if fighters fought more, they'd be mentally be able to get over these gymnastics. Because Floyd, the reason why Floyd was so great is he beat them already outside the ring. The reason why Tank is so good because he beat dudes already outside the ring mentally. He beat Frank Martin mentally outside the ring. So when they fought, yeah, Frank Martin, he put up a good fight, but when Tank got him where he wanted to get him, he got him. You know what I mean? And that's why I say I want these fighters to fight more, to grow the sport, but also grow their mental. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, to attest to what Dave got up on the screen right here, what you got up on the screen, just be patient, my man. That shit coming, that wave coming. You got to look at all these new young cats coming in. Bam, Moten, Mason. I believe Davis gonna have to step his game up and get active. Foster, all these young cats that's coming up. Robise Ramirez, Shakur gonna eventually have to get with it. You know what I'm saying? That wave is coming. I believe the new wave, the new young wave that's coming into the real spotlight. I believe they're gonna change that and kind of get back to the old ways. I believe we're gonna start seeing fighters more active once some of these older guys clear out and stop trying to hold on to the political chair or the cash cow chair or the I'm the face of boxing chair. Once they finally get out of the way, I believe, what I'm saying, it's gonna slowly change back to how it was back in the day. We're gonna start seeing some fighters, 3 and maybe even 4 times a year, depending on how they, dispose of their opponents. So I'm praying. I'm right along with y'all, man. I'm praying these boys start getting in the ring because, like Capo say, the holding that zero, that goose egg won't mean as much to casual fans, the real boxing heads, and the fighters themselves. Just because you got a goose egg don't mean absolutely nothing, bro. You can create a career and have a goose egg. You can simulate a career and have a goose egg. That don't mean you was the greatest of all time. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So the more you get active, the more you get in there, really see and really challenge yourself. And not only that, if you really about that life and you really about boxing, the more you diagnose, the more you intake. Pause. No freaky is the more you become more relevant to whoever, whether people like you or not. You become more relevant. They want to see you lose or they either want to see you win. And that's the way of the old school cats. They don't care if you tune in to see them lose, but guess what? You still tuning in. You're gonna see me 3 4 times a year, so you might as well tune in anyway. I'm gonna be fighting your favorite fighter or your least favorite fighter, so you might as well tune in and watch me do my thing anyway. But I believe with the younger cats that's coming in, that's gonna pick back up, and I see it, and I'm ready for it too. I'm ready for some of these old cats to get out the way now.
All right, coach. You see Dave question. What you got for that question?
He said the key out to Julie. He talking about Autumn. He talking about Autumn.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a smooth little setup right there. That dude look like he slaying jury in the middle section of the mall. You feel me? But
Hey,
I'm gonna get down to I'm gonna get down to it like this. Shakur looked like you could tell he always bring up Tank name, but it looked like he kind of took a page out of Tank book with this one talking about, oh, I'm gonna get you right there. I'm gonna get you right there in the way. And he told Artem, hey, I'm gonna hit you in the midsection. That's where you go down. I hope you've been doing your ab work or whatever. And Artem simply told him, hey, don't run this time. Don't run this time. Did you bring your running shoes? He said, Shakur said, I'm not gonna run. Uh, so with that being said, if you're gonna put in some work to the body, pause, no freaky, that means you're gonna be in the pocket, right? You got to be in the pocket if you're hitting the body. I don't know too many people who can box long range and land shots to the body. So if we get to Shakur, who finally shows us he can work in the pocket, along with the rest of the stuff he's already emulated and showed us within the ring, not the running part, but everything else he showed us he can do. Master of distance. He can be a good counter puncher. He can utilize the footwork. He can utilize the jab. If he can put all that together against Artem, then I got him getting a. He should knock Artem out. Period. He should knock Artem out. If he don't, I might have some questions about it. But then again, I got to see what Artem is doing because, like I say, against Frank Martin, Artem made it hard for Frank Martin to do anything. Artem just chose to tap out on his own. You know what I'm saying? Artem just had to survive those last couple rounds, and I believe Artem would have won that by split. So,
mm,
like I say, for Frank, for Shakur, Artem is no walkover. Anybody else, if Arden was fighting anybody else at this point, I'd be like, that's an easy win. But for Shakur, it should be an easy win, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not, especially because he already put it out of the atmosphere. Hey, I'm gonna try to get you out of there with some body work. You feel me? And Autumn is no softy. He's not no punk, but at the same time, it's like you going in there talking about touching up Autumn body. You know what I'm saying? You got to go back and look at what he was doing with Frank Martin. He was making it difficult. So at the same time, I do have Shakur winning this fight. He should win it by knockout by round 6 or 7. But if he don't and it go to distance, I believe it'll still go his way, majority decision.
yeah, I honestly think Autumn would put up a better fight than people are expecting, but I still
Mm-hmm.
think Shakur winning by unanimous decision. I don't think Shakur stop him. Um, Autumn Harunyan, man, he he got decent fundamentals, right? I won't say
Mm-hmm.
they great, but they decent. And if he coming up the right game plan, if he got a little pop on his punches, he might be able to make something shake against Cool. I still think Cool will be able to outclass him, but I just think Cool is just a master technician in there when it comes to boxing. And I just see him outclassing Arthur Marunion. You know, uh, I would say early on, Autumn will, win a couple rounds. I won't say in a row, but he gonna win some rounds. But I got Cooler just outclassing him. I just think that when Frank fought Autumn, he gave Autumn too many opportunities, and I just think that Core is not gonna give Autumn those opportunities. You know what I mean? Core gonna be active. Core gonna, I think Core gonna throw a little bit more. But like I said, it's gonna be mainly him gonna be on the defense and fighting off the back foot. I think he's gonna try to bait Autumn a lot and try to run him into shots. But I don't think he'll be able to stop Autumn. I think, I think Autumn will be able to hurt Shakur. I'm not gonna lie to you. I see a round where, Core gets hurt, but that's my take on it, man. I did that for Dave. Shout out to everybody that checked in on the live. Me and Coach probably gonna try to go live again tomorrow. Like I said, man, I know y'all been asking for the lives. I know Crucial Content been asking. I need to go live more, and 2 Cents been asking. I'm gonna try to. I'm just a busy man. I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm gonna try to do that more. Go a little live, and so we can interact. But appreciate everybody for coming out, man. Much respect to everybody. Hope everybody have a good night. I'm Boss. That's Coach. We out of here.
Sure.